AMA. Again, what does the AMA stand for? It stands for Ask Me Anything. Um, and as I've been doing these sessions and like approaching the sessions, I think one of the things I've been focusing on is come up with some topics that you want to rant about, right? And then give you guys an opportunity to ask whatever question you like. It can be about Q4 marketing. It can be about what we at Art Storefronts do as a brand, or anything in between. And as the live is spinning up and we're starting to get some eyeballs on it. Funny story. So I'm traveling today. You can see I've got I don't have my fancy background. I've got a hotel room behind me, but I just ran an errand to like go get some supplies for my room. Get some water and the like. Good morning, Katie. And I get in the I get in the Uber. So I call the Uber, and Uber comes and gets me and picks me up, and we start talking and everything else. And he's telling me about his job and what he's done in the past and this and that and the other. And he's like, "So what do you do for a living?" And I told him really just briefly, "Oh, I run a marketing department at a software company." And he's like, "Oh, cool, interesting." Then, in a true epitome of a small world status, he he goes, "Yeah, let me give you a business card for my side business." I'm like, "What's your side business?" And he passes back a business card. Okay. And it is for his photography business, right? He's got a photography business. I actually have the thing here. Where is it? Let's see if I can show this thing off. Can you see it? The Morris Gallery. Right? He showed me, and I was like, "No way! Like, how ironic is that?" And he's like, he's like, "Yeah, I actually know about you guys. I've heard about you guys, and you email too much." And I thought that was absolutely hilarious. God bless that guy. Of course, we email too much. Okay, why? Because it's effective. That's why you guys need to be sending more email. But anyway, today's session's in AMA, so you can ask me anything about anything. Be more than happy to respond. But I want to talk about a couple of things. You can see that I titled this thing, if you're on Facebook anyway. I titled it the new Local Show Playbook: How to Approach Merch and Q4 Marketing, right? And so I wanted to start, especially, we have like this private Facebook group, right? And it's awesome because you get to see kind of what everyone's working on, what they're doing, what their wins are, and everything else. And one of the things I've just been so pleased to see recently is a ton of our customers have been running local shows and doing fairs and various different art shows, in the real world, in the retail world, not digitally speaking. And it's extremely encouraging, right? Because they're insanely effective ways to sell art, to build an art business. And you know one of the things that I keep seeing is like, you know well, let me say this. There is a playbook, okay? If you've taken any amount of time to study the show and fair circuit, right? Maybe you've never done a show. Maybe you're contemplating a show. Maybe you did shows back in the COVID days, but you haven't started doing them since. Morning, Jim. By the way, love that ballet post that you put in there, in the group. That was awesome. Um, it's really really hard if you do shows and fairs to get an ROI at every single solitary one of them, right? Like, they're hit or miss. Sometimes you get a show where a whole bunch of people show up and it's awesome and you do really well and you pay for your booth fees and everything else. And sometimes you don't. Sometimes they just don't go well. Nobody shows up, right? Like the show or the fair didn't do a good job promoting, or maybe COVID is preventing people from coming to them. But when you look at the show circuit, okay, and when you look at the concept of a show holistically and you understand the game, you stand a significantly better chance at getting an ROI if you play by the rules, right? If you play by the rules. So quickly, one quick question Katie's asking: Does ASF hire remote workers? Do we hire remote workers? I was saying this yesterday, like, you know, in pre-COVID, we had an office here in Austin. That's where I am right now, in Austin, and now we don't. Now we don't. So our entire staff is remote, and it's crazy. I had one member of my marketing team traveling yesterday, and in one of my calls yesterday with my marketing crew, I was in California. One of my team members was in Serbia. One of my team members was in Dubai. One was in Venezuela. one was in the Philippines, all on one call. Is that not amazing to contemplate, like how truly international of a workforce that you can have in today's day and age? So yes, Katie, we hire remote workers. I don't know what you do for a living, but you can hit our website, and I think there's a job section. But let's get back to the art show playbook, right? It is so simple, okay, to do this and to win and to literally 10x the possibility that you are going to see an ROI by doing a show, okay? 10x the ability to get an ROI out of a show. And I'm just going to explain this very simple conceptually, okay? You go and you pay for your booth fees and you set up your booth and you're having a show, right? Number one, you need a way to collect emails. The easiest way to collect emails is to offer a print giveaway. Okay, a print giveaway. If you're not doing print, you can give away a small original. You can give away something, right? You have the clipboard there. You have the fishbowl there for them to drop business cards in, or maybe you have an iPad that they fill out, right? And all show long, you need to be capturing emails. Now, if you're a customer, you can use the QR codes, right? And the QR codes are so interesting because pre-COVID QR codes in this country were not a thing. They just were not a thing. But what happened in COVID, at some point in time during the midst of it, the restaurants all of a sudden everywhere just started putting their menus in QR codes. And now everyone knows how to scan a QR code. Everyone knows that they can just hold up their phone and scan a QR code. So it's very important that if you're going to do a show or you're going to do a fair, that you are capturing emails, that you are giving a print away, that even if it's a slow show and you're gathering 17, 15, 20, 100, 150, I mean, I've seen 10 posts in the last week of people talking about how many emails they've captured, and it excites me to no end because I feel like, go to a local show, go to a local fair in your area, and it can be anything. How many of the vendors are capturing emails? Almost none of them. Almost none of them. It doesn't matter. Like, what if it was a farmer's market? Why aren't the people at the farmer's market capturing emails? They could be marketing to me in perpetuity, right? So it's such a missed opportunity. So step one, you need to be capturing emails. Okay, critically important. Step two, you obviously at the end of the show, you pick a winner. You notify everyone who won. You tell everyone else, hey, I'm sorry you didn't win, but thank you so much for coming by my show and checking things out. Here's a special coupon, 15% off, 20% off, whatever, off my show inventory or off my entire site that expires in 48 hours, whatever it is, right? If you're a customer, we have an incredible playbook internally on this. But just doing that drastically increases, okay, your ability to earn a revenue, earn an ROI from a live art show. Okay, or in-person art show. Now let's talk about the live art show component, right? Like, you loaded up the car, you paid for those booth fees, you went down there and you have this beautiful booth set up of all your stuff. Why are you not running a live art show in there? Why are you not turning the cell phone on, doing it yourself if you have to, getting your booth mate to do it, and you'll do it for them, and just saying, hey guys, just want to let you know, here I am, down here, at such and such show and fair, and I know a ton of you can't join me. I'd love for you to come down if you can, but for those that couldn't, I just want to show you I'm going to have a live art show in my booth, and you get the same deals if you were here. And so let me just walk through and show you some of the pieces. Do you realize how big of a no-brainer that is? Do you realize how powerful that is? You're essentially, by paying for that booth, by having that show, okay, you are essentially opening up a retail art gallery, right? And you're opening up a retail art gallery with one seriously limiting factor, which is you are geographically fixed on this planet like all the rest of us. Okay. So you're really only gaining exposure to the people that are going to be at the show. Well, turning the camera on and going live, all of a sudden you're gaining exposure to your entire following, right? To anybody that's popping onto Instagram, anyone that's popping onto Facebook, anyone that's popping onto YouTube. And so what a significant impact it can make. Okay. And not only that, like, you have the ability, okay, by doing that, to have multiple irons in the fire at once, right? And the one iron in the fire is letting all your local people know, like, hey, you can come down here and check this out. Come see me, right? It's at least doing some marketing to them. You never know how many might show up. All it takes is one to buy one original, and you're way positive, right? Or the second, is everyone that couldn't come. And it is such a powerful way to do things. It's sort of mind-boggling. And I realize that art storefronts is a business. I'm going to have to now refine and rewrite my art show playbook so it includes all this. And let me tell you, it should be happening 100% of the time. If you've got a 2-day show, you should be running a stream at least per day. If I was doing it, I would probably run 6 or 7 a day, but I'm sick and twisted like that and I'm online all the time, right? So very, very important. And I keep encouraging my customers to do it more and more. And you wonder why we bang the drum incessantly about the need and the importance of getting comfortable running these live art shows. Okay. Understanding the tech, how it works, not worrying about the fact that you don't have professional hair or makeup, not worrying about the fact that you have some crappy wired headset. It doesn't matter. No one cares. Okay. No one cares at all. You just do it and you run it. And all of a sudden you start doing that. The 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 odds for success, okay, of going to that show and seeing a really positive ROI are greatly impacted. Okay, they are 10x. You are essentially giving yourself multiple ways to win at that show. Maybe the attendance is crap. Maybe on your live art show you pay for things, right? So fundamentally important. And I know nobody's doing it. Okay, Taylor, who works on our team, um, lives in Chicago, right? Major metropolitan city, and they just had one of their biggest like citywide show craft fair art deals in that they have, and they shut down like one giant street, and there's booths everywhere. And Taylor said he could barely even find a single solitary person in there that was even capturing emails out of all those vendors. It's like, guys, what are you doing? Right? The fact that the Pandy is somebody on an art show on a live art show said to me, or on an art business workshop said to me recently, the Pandy instead of the pandemic is starting to go away, and people are starting to be comfortable going to the shows and fairs again. And let me tell you, the shows and fairs, okay, in person is fundamentally an incredible aspect if you have the ability to go and do them, of helping you grow your business. Right? Everything that we do in Art Storefronts to instruct you on how to grow your business, it doesn't have to be all digital. It doesn't need to be all digital. It should be a combination of in person, okay, when you have the ability, and a combination of digital. And having that is just like it's a diversified marketing stack, if you like, and it's so important, right? It is so important. So that's going to be the new playbook. I'm going to start working on that with my team like immediately to figure out some ways for you to do that and get that going. That's number one. Number two, an extremely hot button topic here at Art Storefronts has been merch recently. We've been adding more and more merch items, and going through like, hey, what's the good ones to add? Where should you have them? Which ones are worth selling and which ones are not worth selling? And fundamentally with merch, it's interesting, right? But like understand the premises, you guys. You're creatives, okay? Our goal for you is to figure out as many ways that you can monetize your creative talents as possible, right? And if you're just selling wall art, you're missing out on these whole other product categories that at the end of the day, it's not that much different than wall art. It is still your creative talents represented on a product that people can buy, right? And you know, during the course of the merch discussions and a lot of times with our customers, one of the ways that I see the merch getting beat up a little bit is, you know, oh, the price points are a little bit too high, or the quality on these things is kind of crap. And you know, I look at that, and you don't have the proper perspective when you're saying that stuff. Do you realize back in the day what you had to do if you wanted to sell merch of any capacity whatsoever? You had to order a ton of it. Okay. There were minimums. You had to get all of that crap shipped to your house, and then you had to warehouse it, right? And not only did you have to warehouse it, then you had to go and fulfill it, right? And send it to people after the orders came through. And the fact that we've moved into a world where you can do this print on demand, where we're in a world where no minimums, no minimum order, anyone from anywhere can order it and you can just ship it out. You have to make allowances for the fact that the throw pillow is not going to be a goose down, most amazing throw pillow in the world, right? Because it's just too difficult to get the technology to manufacture that stuff. So that's number one on the merch. Number two on the merch, you know, there is not a museum I've ever been into that doesn't have a gift shop, right? They all have gift shops. And do you know what they have in there? the same crappy quality merch that everyone else has, right? By and large, as a product category, merch that you buy in gift shops is not the highest quality stuff in the world, okay? It's not the best t-shirt, it's not the best sweatshirt, it's not the best stuffed animal, it's not the best anything, right? Like it's all it's all questionable quality. So understand, don't have too lofty of expectations when you're trying to add this stuff in a POD fashion. And instead, contemplate the ways that you can get creative about it, right? And this is such an important one to me because you know, I saw last year the customers that got creative, and this is right around Q4 last year, that got creative with some ways of how they could sell and monetize merch in creative ways that just work, right? And so I want to give you a perfect example, okay? And I saw this yesterday, or I thought about this yesterday, and I was like, I've got to show everybody this. So on Facebook, I'm going to do the screen share. But for everyone for Instagram, I'll do like a little turnaround thing. Okay. So let me just add this to the stream. So I'm on one of our customers' website. His name is Bill Stidham, and he's got a painting of Santa Claus here, right? And I'm just going to turn around and show you. So there's Bill Stidham's Santa Claus, right? And this is Bill Stidham's Santa Claus as it looks on a throw pillow, right? Now, again, are these throw pillows like, next level, like goose down, 100% cotton, whatever the most amazing fabrics are? No. No, it's not. Okay. It's a little bit of a cheesy, they're actually kind of cool, but it's a little bit of a cheesy, what you would think merch pillow. But do you know how many of these things he sold last Christmas time? Because everyone's looking at it and going, okay, that is a really cool painting from an artist I like. Wait a minute. It's only $29. Okay. So you're telling me I could buy two of these things, and once a year, I'm going to pull them out of my house, throw them on my couch because they're Santa Claus themed. And how rad of a little decoration thing is that, right? Amazing. Amazing. And, we have some artists that are super, super good at Halloween stuff. And I'm like, guys, Halloween is coming. Halloween is coming. Like, contemplate how you can use these things as little decorative items and creative. And then not only that, many of you guys are pigeonholed into, whatever format of art that you're creating, right? Well, guess what? If you start water skiing behind the various different holidays, this gives you an opportunity, okay? It gives you an opportunity to experiment with some different styles without feeling like you have to change your entire bag, right? Like, you know, I'm a huge U.S. men's national team soccer fan, right? And we're playing a game tonight against Jamaica. I'm really excited about that. If there were some throw pillows of my favorite soccer players on it, I would probably buy it and throw it in my game room, right? Because it's a cool thing to have. So I think if you contemplate merch through this lens where you can go outside of your normal subject matter and material, right? And you can create stuff that is situationally awesome, right? Like creating something for Christmas, creating something for Thanksgiving, um, creating something for Halloween. That is just fantastically powerful, you guys. It's a fantastically powerful way to get you to pivot and come out of your normal creative zone, try something a little bit different, realize it's going to water ski behind a holiday where a bunch of people are looking for things. And there you go. You've got the opportunity to do it, right? It's absolutely amazing. And, you think about the people that like, my neighbor is a perfect example of this, right? My neighbor is like across the street from me where I live, is one of these guys that situationally he's got a flag for everything. Okay. He's got his like college football team flag, and he's got his NFL team flag, and he's got his California flag because I live in California, and he's got his U.S. flag, right? And he's from England originally, so he's got his England flag, right? And he's got like a Halloween flag, and he's got like a Thanksgiving flag. He's got a flag for every occasion, right? And he's making it part of his home decor, showing off like whatever flag he likes to put up based on what's going on, and like you could think of merch in the same way, right? Like you could cater the merch, okay, to various different interest groups that are only going to use this stuff for one particular situation and love it, right? Like, you could do a phone case for every season, right? You could do summer, winter, Vivaldi special, right? Summer, winter, spring, fall. So I think it proffers you guys an opportunity to leverage your creative talents to try some different styles that maybe you haven't tried up till now. And I think that's super interesting. That's a super interesting way to think about it. You don't have to necessarily think about like, you know, this merch, this stuff has to represent my normal bread and butter art stuff that I do. And it certainly can. But what an incredible way to think about it, right? Like, if you did a tote bag for every season, right? Or if you're like a wildlife person, a nature person, you did the 12 months of tote bags, right? And you did a tote bag for the birds that you're shooting, a different bird for every year, and then you sold them all as a package, right? Like, you just have to get creative in what you can do and contemplate that you can afford to get creative here with zero out of pocket costs, save what you're doing to create the art in the first place. That's powerful, you guys. The power of print on demand is the fact that you guys can create the whatever it is, put it in the store, see how it goes, and have zero out of pocket. You're not even paying for anything aside from what it costs you to create, right? And that's an amazingly powerful thing. And I think especially when you start thinking about this creative, like, where can you take it? Right? Where can you take it in terms of Christmas gifts? Like, there's so many things that you could do, and so much fun that you can have with it. And when you properly package it up, both in your own mind and when you properly package it up for your customers, like, it just makes sense, right? It just makes sense. I mean, I would totally buy a bunch of different throw pillows and just put them in my house at various different fun occasions, and everyone would just be like, they look cool. I mean, what a great way to like accessorize my couch. And let me tell you, I have two small kids. Do you think I care if the throw pillow is nice? My kids and dog are going to destroy that damn thing in a month anyway. So of course I want a $30 pillow, right? And so, you hear me pitch it like this, and doesn't it just change your mind and change your attitude, the way that you look at it? Like, there's so many fun and creative things that you could do with any of them, right? With the cell phone cases, with the coasters, right? Like, with any of the stuff. So I really do think it's an interesting way to change your mind in the way that you think about it, and realize that, especially in the home decor segment, it's just whatever you want it to be, whatever you feel like creating, using your creative talents to do, and then having some inexpensive price points that'll just help drive the sales of everything else in your store. So, fundamentally important. Something I think everybody should be contemplating. Obviously, it's much easier for our customers because it's all print on demand. You don't have to do anything. But even if you're not a customer, you go and find other places to do it. So that's what I wanted to rant about. I think it's critically important. I think you've been hearing us bang a drum about these live art shows incessantly for how long now, right? And how long now? For good reason, because you've got opportunity after opportunity after opportunity this entire Q4 marketing series to get going on your live marketing, right? All it takes is a cell phone turning on, talking about what you're talking about. Okay. I'm going to deal with some few questions and then I'll wrap this thing up. So Patricia's saying, I just started painting acrylic and everyone is buying them. So I guess I'm good. Yeah, you're definitely good. If everyone's buying your art, it's time to raise prices, Patricia. That's how that works. I have no idea to start selling online. Can you help? Yes, Patricia, of course we can. Request a demo and our team will show you our whole solution on how to do it. But one, Patricia, before you even do anything with us, if everyone is buying your art immediately, you need to raise your prices. That is the number one signal to raise your prices. And you can keep raising your prices until everyone stops buying it. Okay, that's how it goes. You just keep stepping it up and stepping it up, stepping it up. Wait a minute. Not everyone's buying anymore. Let's step it back down. That was my sweet spot, right? And then try some different things. But that is a very first world problem to have, right? So an interesting way to contemplate things. But what else? Questions? Questions? Instagram? Questions? Facebook? While I'm still rolling along. And what's up, Andy? Andy's scheduling his social media post out months at a time, stressing. No? All right. All right, guys. Well, I think we'll leave it there. Rant complete. I hope everyone is taking their Q4 marketing seriously. We have a very, very important season coming up here, and I want all of you guys to rock it. So